Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I got a dozen small agate nodules we're going to cut today. These are from the Gila Band Mountain Range area just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. Some of these have windows, but most of them don't. But let's take a look at them real quick and see what we're going to be cutting. Alright, this one's got kind of a broken end here where you can see some banding and some bots showing. So yeah, definitely some agate in that. So I'm going to cut behind all of that in this thick part. Okay, no windows on this one. Maybe we'll cut it long ways. We'll see. Okay. This is interesting. Really smooth husk on this one. No real windows, just a couple of little spots where it peeled on the edge. Probably cut it through the thick part. Alright, got a window on that one. Very weathered, but showing some banding. And a little one there, banding. So yeah, I'll probably cut parallel to that through here where it's thicker. Not in that window. Okay, a little bit of a weathered window there, looks like chalcedony. Okay, I can see some banding on this end. Just cut it through the thick part. Okay, another smooth one, no windows. Just cut it through the thickest spot. Not positive this is an agate. It does look like a nodule, but the husk and the color just don't look right. So maybe it's a nodule, but not agate. Could be jasper. Okay, got a little window showing some banding right there, and another one there. So I'll try to cut down the middle in between those two windows. No windows, just some chips on the edge here. That's the biggest thing that resembles a window. It's weathered, I can't tell. Looks like there's some water line in that. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut him from here to here, outside those windows. Got a window there, showing some weathered banding, and some banding on that little knob. So I'll cut it in the thick part. Alright, got a weathered spot here where it's broken. I think it's chalcedony. I don't think there's quartz in that, but I could be wrong. So yeah, we'll cut it this way. And then this last one here. Alright, got a little bit of chalcedony showing here. So we'll cut it that way. Okay. Let me get these on the saw, get them cut, and I'll be right back with the results. We'll see what's hiding on the inside of these. Hopefully we got a few good ones. Alright. Okay, welcome back. Let's see how we did with these stones. Start with this little one. Let's get this wet. And we've got a pitted moss agate. Let's zoom in on that real quick. Alright, it's got some cool spots, but lots of pitting on this one. Alright, on to the next. Okay, so I did get this one cut long ways. Unfortunately, there was a fracture back here and this little piece chipped off on one side. And let's take a look at that. Look how fine that banding is. That's a shame. All right. The black stuff is just paint from the saw blade. Look at the parallax or shadow banding on this one. Okay, well, I could always polish it. It's got cool banding. This side did not break. Definitely look good polished. Looks like there's a couple of healed fractures right there in the middle too. Alright. Other than that, this came out alright. Alright. Stone 3. Okay, so we had some windows on this one and I cut in between them and I got a good cut. Let's see how the stone looks. Oh, super nice. Unfortunately, it does have a fracture right there and a little one up here. But look at that banding and the color and the pattern on the edges. That's pretty wicked. And this side's a little nicer. Again, you can see that fracture up here and the one back here. Yeah, there's no getting around that. I see where it is now. I can see it coming all the way around here. Oh well. Can't see this one outside. Still very neat looking. All right, stone 4. Okay, so I had that little window there and back there. Okay. It's not bad actually. Nice banding, a little bit of quartz. It does have a healed fracture, a little one right there. Very translucent. This is a little nicer. Let's see where that fracture was. Back here. Well, at least through the camera screen, I can't see the fracture on this side. All right, very nice. All right, stone 5. What do we got here? Wasn't sure what to expect from that one, but I got a good cut. Ooh, all right, nice banding. Nice pattern. If you look up here, you can see a couple of little healed fractures, but a really nice pattern. Very tight banding, but not a lot of contrast outside of the center. Got some color change right here. Probably from those fractures. All right, pretty cool. All right, stone 6. Halfway through this and this one. And we ended up with another fairly faint but full pattern. That's just from the saw blade. I don't see any fractures in this one. And look at the banding in the center, how tight that is. Yeah, we got some shadow banding in here for sure. Wow. That'll look nice polished. Same with this side. All right, well, small stone, but nice cut. I like that. All right, stone 7. Again, have that broken window here. Cut back behind it. See what we ended up with. Ooh. Wow, look at that. Double pattern with something going on in the middle of it, and then you got the moss on the end. So let's start with this side. That moss is fairly solid. A little bit of pitting, not much. It's got some coolness in it. A little bit of color and some banding. And up here you got the dual pattern. You got 2 separate formations there. And then you got some tubes or something in the middle. Maybe they were cut pots, I don't know. All right, and then this side, more of the same. Formations up here are a little nicer. Very nice. All right. Okay, on to stone number 8. Here's that one with the smooth husk. How did this turn out? Wow, okay. So very, very tight banding, shadow banding for sure. You got a little bit of quartz here and here. This is, I believe, just paint from the saw blade. Yeah. Look at the shadow banding. And that's gonna polish up really nice. Very cool, look at that. On the bottom especially. Let's see what it looks like going this way. All right. That one turned out pretty cool looking. Great pattern. Number 9. All right, this is the one I wasn't sure if this was gonna be a agate or what. Nodule looked a little different. And it is a little different. It's still a banded agate, but it's got a little bit of host rock, I think, left on the husk. It's got a really cool tight pattern. That kind of haziness is just some of that black paint left over from the saw blade. You got a little bit of color, a little red down here, probably from some healed fractures. Let's see, a little bit on this one, not as much. But yeah, I mean, that is nice looking pattern. Yeah, look at that. There's definitely some shadow banding going on. That's got to get polished. It's not a big stone, but that's going to look really nice polished. All right, stone 10. So again, cut back behind where we had this broken window. See the bot, so let's see what we ended up with. Oh. Another crazy agate with banding and moss. Look at the color. Let's start with this one. So let me dry it off real quick. That moss is solid. I don't see any pitting. Get wet again. Look at the banding in that top part. All right, another I got a polish candidate. That's so cool. And this side's even nicer looking. All right, that one is gonna polish up super nice. I love it when I find the stones like this. All right, 2 left. So let's go with number 11 here. Again, this is that one that had what I thought was some water level banding right here. Let's see what it did in the stone. Whoa, no water level banding. Huh. But look at that, perfect full pattern and the color in this one. That's gonna polish up super nice. I mean, it doesn't even have quartz down here. Look at that. That's agate with little orbs floating in it. Just like up here in these bands. The black haze is just paint from the saw blade. Wow. That is a really nice stone. It's definitely going to be in the I gotta polish now pile. I'll set that aside for sure. All right, last up. So what did we have? We had a window right there, and I just clipped it just so barely. And then you have that window back here. Got behind most of it. But if I'd have gone over any further, this would have been useless. Let's see how we ended up. Oh, wow, I think this one's just as nice as that last one. Doesn't have a lot of the floating orbs, a few of them, but the color is super nice and very contrasting bands on the outside. A little bit of almost a purple color in the middle. Well, just outside of the white. Yeah, definitely some purple in there, or lavender. All right, gotta polish that for sure. All right, well, definitely the last 2 stones are gonna get polished. A few others will get polished eventually, but these are gonna go, the last 2, definitely going in the polish now pile. All right, this was stone 12, the last in the bunch. Thank you everybody for watching. See you in the next video. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.